Yo, what's going on YouTube? Nasif here from Click, and today we're back on Gran Turismo 7 doing the daily race B. Now, earlier today I did upload my qualifying session, which if you didn't check out and you want to see how to best set your qualifying time, go check that video out. I did end up setting a 2 minutes 32.3 seconds, something like that, which was good enough to get us into third position for this race. Now, this is my second race on. Unfortunately, the first race I did on the Ford Daily Race B, I ended up getting taken out on the first corner as a result of a dive bomb into the first corner on the first lap. So a bit unfortunate, but I didn't end up recording that. So we'll take a look and see how this second race goes. All right, so we'll start the race here, as always, with every Gran Turismo race, basically going to try my best to survive the first lap and not take anyone out while I'm at it. So going into the first corner, just taking it easy, trying to close the gap a little bit on the Genesis so we can catch the slipstream all the way down the long straight. And we do have the American Frog behind us in the Citroen, I believe, race car. So we're going through here, catching the slipstream, going to use it basically all the way up the straight. And you'll see here, as we're coming out of the corner, that I did have the opportunity to overtake here, but based on the positioning and the car ahead, it may have put us all in a position where we're going 3 abreast into the next corner, which is never a good idea. So I decided to give the Brazilian a little bump, put him into first place, and just kind of sit in behind and tuck in behind these two, and almost basically kind of initiate them to battle for that position, which generally speaking, when people are battling for position, they go slower, which would give me the opportunity or potential to pass. Now, I did kind of fake a bit of a dive there to see what would happen with the Lambo. He didn't really react to it. So my guess is with this driver, he's not really looking at what's going on behind him, which is going to be beneficial to us shortly. Looking behind us, we do have the Citroen about 8/10, I believe. No, that's 4/10. I can't read. I need to get a new pair of glasses. But the Citroen is about 4/10 behind. And as we're coming around the sweeping left-hander here, we can see again the Genesis and the Lambo up ahead are battling, and have the Genesis right, or the Citroen, I should say, right at my ass. Now, if we look here, as we're going through this corner, the Lambo makes the ever so slight mistake. The rear end kicks out a little bit. He was about to sweep across and take me out, but he saved it. And we ended up being able to sneak right through and not run into any issues or collisions through that corner. And now the chase is on with the Genesis up ahead. And we do have a train of 3 cars behind us here now going into the last couple corners for the first lap. So we'll see how this pans out. Okay, so just skipping ahead a little bit there. Again, we do have a trail of cars coming in. I did want to go kind of somewhat defensive / attack as well on the Genesis, but also trying to protect my position here. So kind of diving in on the inside there, the second to last corners, shutting off the overtaking opportunity for the cars behind, and also giving the Genesis up ahead something to think about. Unfortunately, because of that line, though, it did open up the gap from first place a little bit. He did end up pulling away a tiny bit. So now just going to work on losing my tail, which is the Citroen coming up to the right-hand side here, as you can see on the radar. And we did ease off the throttle here to let him go past, because the smart move is to just tail him, use the slipstream, get back into second position, and defend off on the last corner, or I guess the next corner at the end of the straight. So we'll see how this one pans out. All right, so as you can see on the radar on the bottom right there, we are again tailing with 3 cars. Just outbroke the Citroen right the way in, took the inside line, and managed to keep second position, even though we did temporarily lose it. And it looks like that there was some battling going on back there. It looks like the Lambo almost took the Genesis out. And so as you can see, the time gap there is going down way beyond a second. So now we're really in a good position, safe and far away from the people behind. And we are basically closing the gap down on this Genesis now. This is the main thing that we're going to do, is to try and shut the gap down on the Brazilian up ahead. All right, so just skipping ahead here a little bit to the last corners of the second lap here. And we do have an opportunity to overtake the Genesis. I was seriously considering it, tried going around the outside, going in. He did cover it off. I ended up bumping into him on the apex of the second to last corner, or the last corner, I should say. And unfortunately, he ended up scooting away from that. Now, not really an error on his part or my part. It's one of those things where it's just a racing incident. You have two cars that are barreling into a corner very fast. They're both fighting for position. Sometimes it is, inevitable that you're going to make contact. Thankfully, neither of us ended up, ruining our race. Neither of the cars got binned. And as you can see on the bottom left there, we took no damage, and I don't think he did either. So kind of like a net zero loss on this situation. Yeah, it sucks that we didn't get the position, but as you'll see throughout the race here, that we are just going to work on clawing him back. And just cutting out that section of the track that really just me just driving through, trying to close the gap. We are putting the pressure on, so as you'll see here, the Brazilian Ramos up ahead goes ahead, and he does set the fastest lap of the race for about a third of a second, and ended up taking the fastest lap there, which is great. So what that does is it kind of just makes him aware that, look, the guy behind you is faster, he is catching, so it puts the pressure on him to drive faster, which then, in turn could turn into a mistake, a spin out, an accident, something could happen. So really just trying to play those mind games, drive a nice, fast, clean lap, and try and get into his head and see if we can close the gap down. And again, just chopped out a section of the race there because really nothing happened, just me chasing the Genesis. As you can see here, we did post another 1/10 of a second faster than the fastest lap. So again, something to keep in mind for this guy is that the car behind him is faster. Now, I think the Genesis is a little bit quicker on the straights, if I'm not mistaken, but I ended up getting his slipstream here and basically sucking him right in. That's what she said. And let's take a look and see what happens here, because we are basically right up his ass. Unfortunately, running a little wide there. In Gran Turismo fashion, there's no logic there with the penalty system. I think in a normal race that probably wouldn't have been penalized in real life for that, but it is what it is. I did give him a little bump on the entrance to that corner, and as such, I kind of just eased off to let him go through. I didn't want to contend for the position on a dirty overtake, so that's what it is. And again, fast forwarding through here, coming up the main straight, and we are basically right up his ass here. And I'm debating here, do I go for the overtake? I know I have the half-second penalty, and I just decided, you know what I'm going to do? I will take the position, but, it just didn't sit right with me to take the position. We had a little bit of contact there. I wasn't sure if that was my fault or not, but I did just kind of ease off to let him go past here and take first position back, because the way I see it is there's no reason to hold him up while I'm in first position when I'm inevitably going to lose the position when I take that penalty. So I figured, what I'll do is I'll just let him take the lead, try and induce a mistake on his end and see if I can get the overtake done. And it is unfortunate with that half-second penalty, as you guys will see on the next straight, is that half-second actually turns into over a second difference, which is a bit of a shitty situation, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead and see what happens here. So just speeding things up a little bit through here as we get through the last lap. Now, unfortunately, I do have that half-second penalty to serve. And one thing I wanted to mention here is look at where that yellow line is of text. It's right in my point of view. I can't see anything with this Huracan's roof view when I get a penalty. So maybe something that needs fixing, an update or something down the line. But it is what it is, guys. We serve our penalty here, half a second. We start at 0.7 seconds behind. And as you can see on the top left corner, we end up being about 1.8 seconds behind the leader after serving just a half a second penalty. So as in usual Gran Turismo fashion, and any racing fashion, I should say, best to avoid penalties, stay on track, don't run wide, because it can bite you way hard in the ass. I do think that if we didn't have that penalty to serve, I could have overtaken him on that section at the beginning of this lap and just won the race. But it is what it is, guys. We finished in third place, or started in third place, I should say, and finished in second. So we did go up one position, and we also took fastest lap for the race, which is always nice. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. Let me know what your thoughts are on the daily race B on Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, and let me know what car you guys are using down below in the comments. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.